Hey, what's up, couch potatoes? We're back today to talk 1989's Little Monsters, directed by Richard Greenberg, starring Fred Savage, Kevin, is it Kevin?
And
Kevin
his
Arnold.
brother.
Kevin Arnold is.
And Ben Savage.
Was that Ben?
It's
Really?
truly his brother, yes.
That's the one that was in Boy Meets World?
Yes.
No shit.
I didn't know you didn't know that.
No, I didn't watch Boy Meets World. I watched Wonder Years.
watched
And
them
obviously,
both.
Howie Mandel, who for some reason I kept calling Mickey Rourke.
It was like, who? You're the one who knows these things.
Maybe I was on as much drugs as he was. Well, dude, look, guys, I watched this movie when I was my oldest son's age now.
Yeah. Same.
And it resonated with me like you cannot believe. And I have zero doubts that Monsters, Inc., whoever made that, watched this
Also
movie
enjoyed this movie.
ton because
Yeah.
there's so much in this movie that my kids were just like, hey, it's just like a Monsters, Inc. This is a movie, one of those that's like, if you watched it back then and you grew up with it, you're nostalgic for it, you love it. If you watch it for the first time now, you're probably like, against this. You know, so I feel like it is just kind of a fever dream of just a whirlwind.
It's a kid's movie,
Yeah,
for sure.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. But I still had I laughed out loud several times while watching because I didn't remember it being as funny, you know, or stuff that I would find funny now.
It's funny.
But I had a blast rewatching this with the kids. The
I
first
think
time
the
I've watched
kids
it
really
since.
enjoyed it too.
My youngest has this little puppy hand puppet puppy, and he's using that to be like the dog eating the homework.
My homework.
Yeah, so I mean, it again, if your kids love Monsters Inc., show them this movie immediately.
And I don't have to share my apple juice anymore.
Yeah, the next day I got my youngest some apple juice, and he's like, "Who put piss in my apple juice?" And he won't drink it anymore. So hey, you know,
And I get it all for myself.
there's good
It's a
things
win.
in the bad. It's so funny. That's the thing. The one thing about this movie I remembered was who put piss in my apple juice. So first thing when we get into what did you like about this, I gotta say I have to credit Howie Mandel for absolutely just
Killing it.
taking a line and just going for it. He absolutely loses his mind in this movie. And it's very endearing, I think. It's hard not to love Maurice by the end of the movie, that when they're actually saying goodbye, I'm actually feeling it a little bit. It's actually really sad. But it's just a really neat idea. You can tell the movie didn't have a ton of budget because like the underworld could look way cooler, just doing like this little sparkle thing. It's also 1989.
Yeah.
You know, right before Spielberg blew our minds, you know, with special effects and stuff that you could be doing in movies. But I don't know. For me, it was very charming. I feel like there's several things about it that, you know, kids of today's generation can get out of it and enjoy. And obviously ours did as well. I think my youngest actually liked it more than my oldest. I actually think that I've heard him talking about it more. And it's hard to get him to watch anything, guys. He's got attention span of nanoseconds. But like when you got the original part where he's coming out from under the bed, I mean, he's like, yeah, he was eating popcorn. And he's holding this piece of popcorn like this for like a good 4 minutes. And I was like, yeah, so I think it was effective in that regard. What did you like about Little Monsters? Sorry, I'm talking too much.
What is there? There's so much to like. It's definitely topside. It deals with some true family issues. They're moving.
Yeah, the divorce.
Parents are getting separated. The brother is getting in trouble. He likes a girl. I feel like there's a little bit of a Goonies aspect to it as they're rigging stuff up and teaming
I get
up
that.
to
I get a lot of
the
Monster
main
Squad out of this for
Yeah.
sure. Monster Squad, Goonies.
Yeah.
And of course, in hindsight, Monsters Inc. for sure.
Well, obviously you can't.
Yeah. I'm saying in hindsight, I could see that. You know, this is
They
where
took
Monsters Inc. took inspiration. But
I actually get a lot of, in my memory too, a lot of Drop Dead Fred. I don't know if that's a movie that's around that same time period where I'm like, wait, was that Little Monsters or Drop Dead Fred?
Man, I gotta show my oldest Drop Dead Fred before he's too old for it.
Okay, good point. You're
Yeah,
right. Okay.
no, it's
but
good
back
shit.
to Little Monsters. Yeah, there were some parts I didn't really remember, and I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, the freaking what was the the villain's name? Not the boy, but the one who I don't know. He was creepy. He was like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes,
he was a monster.
The back.
Yeah.
He had back problems.
Yeah, that guy was creepy. But oh my god, the boy when they like take his face. Dude, that's some
It's
nightmare
pretty
Jim
messed up.
Henson
It's
shit, man.
pretty messed up.
Yeah, I was like, okay, my kids are gonna have nightmares tonight, but
That was unexpectedly
practical
scary.
effects. I think that's very cool. I would love to play baseball where you just break a bunch of dishes and eat cheeseburgers and stuff. Yeah, down below, I would probably become a monster. It looks like a lot of fun, a lot more fun than his home life was. But this movie made me really hungry for Doritos. Really, really hungry for Doritos.
So wasteful about those Doritos.
Yeah, there's the Wonder Years connection because you had Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
Daniel Stern. David Stern was the NBA commissioner. Daniel Stern was Home Alone, right? Yeah, and Wonder Years. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see
and
that little connection.
Monsters, yeah.
So, what did you not like about Little Monsters?
I mean, kind of what you're saying. The underground could have been a little more developed. I thought it was weird. The bully's like, "Oh yeah, you fed me cat food. I'll totally help you defeat these monsters." Like that was
a really weird turn for him, right? A real character
cool.
arc. Yeah.
Come on, let's do it.
No, the thing where all the kids are like getting all the kids in trouble. I forgot to put that in good. I like where they're getting all the kids yelled at by their parents. Just like, bro, maybe I'm not the worst parent because holy cow, these parents are ripping into these kids.
Kids.
Yeah, but I don't have a ton of bad outside. Just it's dated. It's dated. You know, it looks low budget.
Is preteen. It's not a movie for grown-ups.
But nothing I feel like you're going to look back on and say, oh, that's offensive now. No. You know, a lot of those 80s movies will go back and be like, maybe that probably wouldn't go over so well today. But I don't feel like there's too much of that outside of just being, you know, it's a low budget kids movie, you know? So I think show it to your young kids. They could probably enjoy it, you know, but there are, like she said, some serious issues in there. Sometimes I had to see like, I don't know if I would have put some of these things in a kids movie, but again, I think in the 80s, they just weren't afraid to freak kids out and let them deal with some harsh realities.
Yeah, you know? and there's that's what kids are going with. That's what kids are going through. So why are we shying away from it in the movies? Yeah.
So it's amazing that of all of our videos we make, I think that's the least amount of bad we've had. So what we didn't like about a movie was Little Monsters. How about that, huh? So would you recommend Little Monsters?
Okay, so I'm thinking of maybe people I work with. Most of them are considerably younger than me, but they're not they're not preteens. They've graduated college, and I'm like, I don't think they would care for that.
Probably not. With this, it's like if you didn't grow up with it, you're watching it like
my age.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be like, this is so stupid.
You could actually, if you're my age, you could get some nostalgia out of it.
But I'm saying if you never saw it and you're watching it this age for the first time, you're gonna be like, this is bad. This is bad.
I do think kids today, your preteen kids.
But if you have kids that are, you know, younger than teenagers, I think they'll find a lot, especially if they grew up watching Monsters Inc. And I'm sure they probably did, you know, and I think that they would go back and be like, oh wow, this is a neat idea. You know, I think that they would probably like it quite a bit. So it would be a wait for streaming. It's nothing I would say pay for, you know, obviously. Sure. But I definitely think it's worth your time just for Howie Mandel's performance alone. I think he's just
that was his breakout.
Absolutely batshit.
That's before he got Bobby's World cartoon.
That's before Deal or No Deal.
So Bobby's World would have been.
Was that his big hit, Bobby's World?
He had his own cartoon, his own animated series after this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should just made a cartoon of Little Monsters like they did Beetlejuice, you know? There's your little tie-in.
Womp.
So, star rating, pumpkin meter.
Star rating, I'll give it 3. Pumpkin for that.
The boy?
Beating the boy alone is at least a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go 2 because not just because of the scary as in like, I'm sorry for the pumpkin. I would go 3 stars on the movie, but 2 on the pumpkin meter. 1 because of the gross makeup that I was talking about. But I think with me, I love coming of age. And one of the things, big moments of coming of age for me as a kid was my parents telling me they were getting divorced.
Right.
So that's something that's horrifying to a kid to hear, even if you know, oh, my parents don't seem like they like each other very much anymore. You're still in denial. Oh, they'll work it out, you know, because it's my mom and dad, you know. And so I think kids having to face those things is something I find obviously very traumatic to myself. And seeing that in a movie like this, I say, yeah, that's scary. And had to make sure I reassured my kids after watching, like, hey, we're good. Nobody moving out.
And then there was also the scene where Fred Savage's character was with the baby, and they're like, come on, terrorize this baby. And he was like, no?
There was some Fraggle Rock looking motherfuckers in there. I was going to say that. Looked like some extras from Labyrinth or something. Yeah.
But that scene also made me really uncomfortable. I was like, oh, baby.
Was that one where the hunchback guy or whatever, like that, just like rips that one person's head off and throws it in a basket. So there's some nightmarish stuff in here that I just think that they did because they had low budget, and that makes it kind of creepier.
Yes.
But it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's absolutely fun.
Movie.
Watch it. If you feel like you're just above it, hey, watch it while you're drunk. I think you'd have a good time with it. You'd probably laugh.
Watch it with a kid.
Watch it with a kid if you can, because I think they'll get a kick out of it. Or, you know what? If you're a little older now, but you grew up watching Monsters Inc., watch it and see. You can see definitely some influences there. So guys, Little Monsters, have you seen it? Why don't you drop in the comments and let us know? We will talk to you there.